Hey everybody, it's the Daily Moogle, and oh my god, I am lucky to have made it back out of that cave. I have pretty much exhausted all of my healing items. I mean, except for like the really good ones, basically. I'm trying to preserve those still. But like all my bread, all my cheese, I ran out of my pumpkin pies a long time ago. My haunches are gone. But, I'm going to attempt to make it from this corner back to the opposite corner of this place in the Eastern Forest, because we want to go through that portal. So you know what? I'll see you there in a second. Alright, here we are. Luckily I made it through without bumping into any more enemies. So let's go ahead and step on it. And we're transported to a magical land filled with unicorns and rainbows. Actually not. But there is a Fountain of Destiny. That sounds pretty legendary. Glenda. Heroes have used this magical fountain to fortify their legendary weapons for centuries. If you have a legendary weapon, you should dip it in the fountain. Oh, I got one, if you know what I mean. Most of the time, nothing happens, but sometimes the fountain changes the properties of the weapon. So, what we can actually do is dip Excalibur in there. Edward pulls... God, what the hell? I cannot talk. Pulls the sword out of the pool and examines it. Nothing has changed. And that's because... items. What we have to do is actually attach the sapphire first. And now, if we dip it in there, it should do something. The sapphire has been transformed into an ice diamond. Woo! So what does that mean? I'm not totally sure, but it's supposed to be good. Actually, it's really good. It turns Excalibur into Excalibur Ice. And it's got a lot more weapon power now. Holy crap. That's awesome. That's totally worth doing. Well, geez, we teleported here magically, and I went right for the fountain, which is the first thing you want to do anyway, but I didn't even take the time to, like, explain where we are. We're actually in Aveyond right now, per the name of the game. So, geez, I'm just following this path around here. Yeah, there's a statue here, but it's not like the statue of the goddesses that we can donate to. Apparently, there is no such statue in this place. Aveyond is protected by the magic of the goddess. Evil cannot penetrate this place. Well, that's good. The location of Aveyond is always changing. Only those with the greatest of needs can find it. Really? Penny? 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 One day I hope to visit the Dreamland. Only elder priestesses are allowed to go there. What does this sign say? Mother, son... Oh, it's the gown shop, of course. There's always a gown shop. Please feel free to look around. Let's see. Stylish white lacy silk gown. Wow. Sleeveless. Can you get out of the way of the door, please? Thank you. Did I talk to you? No. I just got back from an assignment in Thias. How about you? I'm studying to become a priestess. Ooh, look, there's an inn. I totally need to stay here right now. Even though it's a rip-off, 200 gold. I desperately needed that, though, for sure. And I just talked to you. Get out of my way! Let's see. May the goddess bless you, children. An item shop here. Buy some milk. I guess it's equal to the pumpkin pie, because I think the pumpkin pie was 60 bucks a piece, but it recovered twice as much. So it's just you have to buy twice as much milk, you know, to get the same effect or whatever. I'm gonna buy like 20 of them. Should probably buy a bunch of these too. I'm actually biting the bullet and spending money on some items since I actually used all of mine. Usually that doesn't happen in a game, though. Usually I, like, hoard my items, and then I just kind of never end up really needing to use them all. Like, I might use a few here or there. But, man, this game's actually pretty rough sometimes. Like, some of the areas will kick your butt if you're not careful. I am from the Arishta Isles. Have you heard of them? I actually have no idea where that is. This is a big church. The Oracle is out of the temple at the moment. You mean the Oracle, like, in the Matrix? Most of the time, her travels are only a few days long, but sometimes they last years.
Brian, how long do you think we've been driving?
I don't know, I've lost track. Besides, dogs don't have a good sense of time. Could be 3 hours, could be 3 years, I don't know.
So when she leaves, she could be gone for a few days or a few years. Nice. The world of... what does that say? Aya? Guide to the Dreamland. Trainee Priestess Survival Guide. So there's no Barnaby's Book of Misquotations here, huh? There's probably no, it's probably not appropriate for a city such as this. Let's see, we didn't go in this big building yet. I was kind of saving it for last. This is the student sleeping quarters. Well, looks boring to me. It looks a lot more exciting from the outside. See, we can cross some bridges down here. Look at the bunnies. Look at all the bunnies. Oh, there's an egg. Ah! Okay, I'm sick of the bunnies. You find an Easter egg. Nice! And yeah, it turns out this is actually a really good egg. It's an egg that we can take to the Moo Hatchery. And it basically, when you use it, it does one of 5 random things. 4 of which are good things, and 1 of which is bad. So basically, it'll either recover all of your party members' HP, all of your party members' MP, both of those, remove all status ailments, or the bad one is that it'll curse your entire party. So your odds are basically 4 out of 5 that something good's gonna happen. But yeah, that's kind of it for this place. There's no chests, there's no bags of money, there's not even a Magic Mirror Express, which I guess kind of goes along with, you know, it's consistent with the whole thing about this place, you know, it never appears in the same place twice or whatever, that kind of thing. But, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go back through the portal. And we want to exit this area, and I think we want to actually head back to Thias at this point, but let me double check that, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back in Thias now, and we're actually back at the newspaper place, because we want to talk to Rita. If you remember, she's one of the very first NPCs I talked to when we first got to Thias, way long ago. And, let's see, what kind of dialogue am I going to get here? Yeah, okay, here we go. So, what we've done is, since we went into, Quinn Castle, where that sleeping girl was, basically after you do that, you can come back here. And this is kind of like the juicy story that Rita's been looking for. So we tell her about it. The world must hear of this. Yeah, you're just going to take the credit for it. Oh, I'll make sure to reference you. And yes, take this for your help. We get 100 gold coins for that. Which, honestly, when we first, like I said, when we first talked to her back then, that would have been a lot of money. But, I mean, the enemies lately have been dropping so much more. Like, I don't feel like it was a very gradual slope. I feel like at one point we were not getting a lot of drops. And then all of a sudden, like, the enemies just started dropping crazy amounts of money. So what we want to do is exit and come back in. Because apparently that's all it takes for Rita to have published the article. And she called it Sleeping Beauty, Where is Her Prince? How do you know that her true love is a prince? I don't, but who cares? A prince makes it so much more romantic. So she's just doing, like, just the sleazy newspaper thing and, like, completely overemphasizing stuff. So and then she says, you want to throw a witch into the story? Witches are always involved in juicy stories like this. Yeah, because I guess, like, who else would have cast the, you know, the spell to put the lady to sleep other than, like, a witch, I guess. Whoops. I didn't mean to do this again. Can you get out of my way? Alright, so after that dialogue, that's supposed to kind of be a clue that we want to head to Witchwood next, and basically we're going to go and try to get a witch involved in order to make the story more juicy or something like that. So let me go ahead and travel to Witchwood, and I'll see you right there. Oh, before we head to Witchwood, you can actually read the article right here at the entrance of Thias. Oh, well that's it? I didn't actually read this ahead of time. I thought we were going to be able to read the actual article. Psh. Well, that's kind of a letdown. Unless you got to read the full article, like, in another city or something, or just in another location. I don't know. In any event, I'm going to take the Magic Mirror Express to get to Witchwood, so I'll just kind of show this part, because it's super quick. Anyway. And, if you're not really sure which to talk to, you kind of just got to remember the one that, you know, people mentioned in particular. If you remember in Stormbend, there was one or two NPCs that talked about how Hepatitis here is like the worst witch of all. So basically, you're kind of supposed to put two and two together and know to come talk to her here. What's so funny? Oh, you know what? I just noticed she has a copy of the newspaper there on the table. The fools in Thias have found that sleeping brat in Ister Forest. They think a prince can wake her. You seem to know a lot about the story. Know it? I'm behind it. And lo and behold, she actually did it. A fool refused to marry me because he was in love with the brat in Quinn Castle. I blinded him and cursed her to sleep forever. Okay, now you want to read I blinded him. Do you remember seeing a blind dude wandering around somewhere nearby? You should. Because that's what you're supposed to do. But anyway, so the news was wrong. A prince can't wake her? Nope. The only man who can wake her is the fool I blinded, and I left him stumbling around Sonoa Plain. Okay. So she gives it away anyway, like she reminds you where he is. In case you're thinking of finding him, I will warn you now. You would be a fool to meddle in my affairs. Yeah. So, she's off to probably cause more trouble, but... yeah, I guess you can't really read the full article, it's just that, huh? Alright. So yeah, that dialogue was a little bit less cryptic. All we gotta do is head back up here to Sonoa Plains and go find the blind guy again. Oh, you know what? Actually, there's something else I gotta do first, because I didn't buy it the first time I was here. Yeah, this item shop right here. I skipped over buying the eye drops. But you actually need to give the blind guy, the eye drops, and that will basically heal him. I think, is the idea. So before you go try to find him, just make sure that you've bought those, purchased those. Ah, man, how do I get out of here? Up this way. And then to the left. There we go. So yeah, the game's kind of set up so that, like... I mean, it's pretty likely that you're just going to stumble upon the blind guy before you know this whole backstory of why he's there. So it's kind of cool that, like, you might find this guy and be like, what the hell is this for? And then, now we know. You know what I mean? Like, you find out later. Have no fear. We mean you no harm. Are you okay? So yeah, we've seen this dialogue before. And then here's the new part. I don't suppose you know a witch named Hepatitis. It's too similar. I just want to say hepatitis. Unfortunately, I do. She did this to me when I refused to marry her, then put a sleeping spell on my true love. How sad. Is there anything we can do? Bring me eye drops. Yeah, so I guess if you didn't know that you had to buy those, then you would know at this point. You could go back and get them and then come back and talk to them. Luckily, we already got them. Just like that, he can see again. No problem. Is there anything else we can do? No, I must go to my true love. Hepatitis put a sleeping spell on her. I am the only one who can wake her. Goodbye, friends. And just like that, he's off. Alright, people. Let's see. You know what? I want to actually go back to the Moo hatchery because I bet I have some more eggs that I can pick up, and I need to hatch my Easter egg. So let me just zip over there and I'll... Dang it! I'll kill these guys and then I'll see you there in a second. Alright, here we are at the Moo hatchery. Let's go ahead and hatch our Easter egg. I got this down by now. And we hatched an Easter bunny. How about that? So I wonder if he's going to go with the bird or with the spider. Now, I think you guys commented that the Easter egg, because it's kind of good, it takes twice as long to hatch an egg. Well, for the bunny to lay one, I guess is the proper way to say that, than these ordinary eggs. So I'm not going to really wait around and grab one right now. I'll just come back in a little bit, I guess. But you know what, guys? I think I might end that video... This video, rather, right about here. We are getting very close to the end of this chapter of Aveyond 3. It's probably going to be a couple more videos, though, before we finish it off. So, just to kind of give you a little bit of context there, I guess. But thanks for watching. This is the Daily Moogle, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye.